y'all. This is the Cutting Edge Review, and I am your Viva. Just kidding. Hey, guys. All right. Right now, I'm doing my X-Men Days of Future Past review. All right. This is the next logical step in the X-Men franchise, and I got to say, number one, this movie is a 10. It's awesome. It's spectacular. It's the best I've seen. Oh, my God, was it good. I can't tell you how great it was. Did you guys know it was great? I hope you do, because I think so. And millions of more people thought so too, by the way, because it did really well in the box office. It was a total blockbuster, dude. And okay, let's get into the story now, the review. All right, X-Men Days of Future Past. It's based on the comic book storyline, but it's about time traveling, if you might guess, is Days of Future Past, kind of like Marty McFly, you're so gullible, McFly, kind of thing going there, with like Biff. In a minute, Biff is going to show up and help the X-Men. Or, oh wait, no, Marty McFly and Doc are going to show up and help everything. They're all going to be better people. But anyways, this movie starts in a very apocalyptic fashion, guys. It's some really far away into the future. Did I mention it was really far away into the future? If I didn't, I guess you guys are never gonna know. And what happens is the Sentinels have taken over everything that we know to be humanity, because in this apocalyptic future, the X-Men are hiding out. They're in Russia in the opening scene, and one of the Sentinels. There's a lot of this review is going to be awesome because this movie is awesome. That's the only reason why. Because I just go completely bonkers for movies like this. You know what I mean? Just kidding. And you see the X-Men die in the opening scenes of this movie. You see Colossus, you see Sunspot, you see Warpath, you see Kitty, you see Iceman. If I missed anybody, Bishop. Oh my gosh, Bishop is on this movie. About time, man. Anyways, they all die in the opening scene because the Sentinels are able to somehow duplicate all the mutants' powers. I mean everybody. I'm not just talking about Mystique. I'm talking about everybody. And so Wolverine has to somehow go in the past to stop that before it happens. In the beginning, when the Sentinels are developed, are invented by, I think what's his name? I forgot the character, Henry Gyrich or something. He's basically the god. He's the god from the Sentinels. And he played by this little midget guy. No, he was awesome. I think that guy was size does not matter, people. Believe me, it's his chops that matter. All right, size does not matter, people. And Wolverine has to somehow, in the beginning, they want Charles Xavier to go, but Charles is not able to go because nobody can regenerate themselves. Because time traveling, as you might know in a lot of movies like Time Cop, is very painful, and you might turn into a pizza if you're not able to withstand the time travel part. And so that's why Wolverine decided we'll bring Hugh Jackman. It has to be Wolverine, or else Hugh Jackman might get pissed off, and he's not the one that does it. And so he gets sent back into 1973, to be exact, I think. And that opening scene where he comes out, he beats up the bad guys, he comes out of the building, you hear that music in the background. Like I said, in a minute, I'm going to see that movie I'm going to get you, sucker. You see the pimp of the year. He's the pimp of the year. Yes, he is. And he drives, I think, a Monte Carlo or a Regal or something. And I love this. From top to bottom, this movie was just amazing. And it shows there's so many stuff in this movie, so many characters. Love the Quicksilver character that was on here. I'm not familiar with the young boy's acting, I'm pretty much new to him as you, the rest of you, and I got to say his performance at that part where he's running and it's put a slow motion in that one song, "The Sound of Silence," I think it was called. That was just amazing. Oh my gosh, that part was just amazing. I was just like, it was highly entertained. And then when he does that one part where he knocks off causes all the bullets. He causes everybody to punch each other, everybody to fall. It takes a little bite out of something while he's running that fast at Mach speed. It's just, my God, that scene alone was just. I love the way they mixed '70s with exploitation of the '70s a little bit, and the way they mixed the genre of Marvel Comics into it, and it melded, it meshed together perfectly, just perfectly. And then there's a scene where they're in the Vietnam War, and you get to see a lot of the X-Men, including Havoc. You know, in this movie, basically, they're trying to figure out what makes mutants tick in that. So Henry Gyrich, remember the mutants for the last movie they did, X-Men First Class? A lot of that whole team of the Hellfire Club was mutilated, and you could see them in the movie. They got like these, operations done on them, so they're all butchered. And Mystique on this movie, you get to see more development of the Mystique character by Jennifer Garner. And I'm not trying to be a hater with her, you know what I mean? I think she's a great actress. But me, I'm more of a Rebecca Romijn Stamos. Romijn fan. And but she did a great job. You get to see they explore the Mystique character a little bit more. She kind of takes a little bit of a center stage on this movie, as well as Magneto and Professor X. And in this movie, she's pretty much alone. You know, she doesn't have the Hellfire Club with her no more. She's pretty much lost it. She's killed for the first time, and you know, when she was with Charles Xavier, the thing is, the X-Men don't kill anybody, you know. But if you guys see the comic books, they actually do kill people. But that's the comics. But anyways, and in this movie, though, she decides on her own that the only way to stop the Sentinels from mutants getting persecuted or mutilated the same way like the Hellfire Club is to go to the source, which is the guy who creates the Sentinels, and she wants to assassinate him basically. And then of course Magneto has other plans, and he's been locked up. He's been locked up for some maybe roughly 10 years, 12 years or something like that. And I like see what I mean, guys. I love the way they put the 1970s and stuff like the JFK assassination on this movie. That's fine if they want to do that. I mean, there's a part right here where they think Magneto killed JFK on this movie. That, you know, the imaginary thing of him getting killed by Magneto, but actually Magneto states on this movie that he was trying to help him. You know what the funny thing is, that they say that JFK was a mutant. Can you imagine? You know, I think tomorrow I'll probably tell my sister, because she sometimes gets on my nerves, depending on which one it is. You're a total mutant. No, I'm just kidding. And there's a lot of stuff in here. This is a total gem here, you know. And you get to and then basically Wolverine comes back and he goes to the mansion, and the mansion looks like you guys remember Interview with a Vampire? You know, the swamps in New Orleans. It's kind of what it looked like a little bit. Looks run down. It looks like it's abandoned. It looks, like I said, like a bunch of like Tarzan had a meeting in the jungle over there at their house. And Professor Xavier's just trying to forget what happened. He lost Raven, Darkman, Mystique. He lost Magneto. Some people have died. The team that he had was, you know, went on their own, and he's just trying to forget about it. He takes some kind of drug to stop him from being able to read people's thoughts, basically to have his powers, and he suppresses the drug by injecting that serum in. And then you get to see Nicholas Hoult, and on the scene also he plays Beast, right? And in this movie, I was kind of critical about it, not his performance. I think it was just the way they made him look. Well, he has to be younger, right? Because I like Kelsey Grammer. I thought he was awesome, Beast, on the Last Stand movie, but but I kind of gave him more of a chance in this movie because there's a scene where it occurs where he gets totally pissed off at Wolverine because Wolverine's pushing him around. Hugh Jackman's, like I said, he's got to be on this movie or else. It's not going to be an X-Men movie without Hugh Jackman. I'm just kidding. I think Hugh Jackman is a great actor. I think he deserves to be on this movie. He is these movies. No. Anyways, and that part where he throws him, that was something else, man, guys. And after that, he convinced Charles Xavier. He talks to him, and in Wolverine's own way, of course, which is usually it's my way or the highway kind of thing. And he's very stern of what he does, and he basically tells Charles Xavier to do it because and to go look for the original X-Men, which is Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, and Archangel, and Storm. And you kind of get like a notion that there's like the human aspect of it. You get the humor aspect of it. You get the action. You get the special effects are just stellar on this movie, and you get to see like just the size of this movie is just monumental. And I actually, to be honest with you guys, I actually almost looked a little bit of this movie again. And I got in touch with my inner child, and that's kind of how it went. And this, basically Mystique wants to assassinate the president. She wants to get rid of the bad guy. Henry Gyrich was the maker of the Sentinels, and she goes to Washington to do it. And then Magneto, of course, has his own agenda. He's going to kill everybody. He's not just going to kill the president, Henry. He's going to kill us. He's going to televise it too. And there's a lot of and all this stuff happening is causing stuff in the future to get worse, basically. It's like your time displacement kind of thing. And just when you do something, anything you reveal is going to be a glitch in the space-time continuum. I sound like Doc from Back to the Future and stuff. Great skulls. And but seriously, that's what happens, and then there's you get, a lot of people come back on this movie. And one of them that I wasn't sure why, I thought she was Halle Berry. The funny thing is, she probably got paid a bundle to come on this movie, but all she said was a couple of lines here and there. And then, when she gets killed on this movie, right? Because a lot of the X-Men in the beginning are getting killed because the Sentinels have a drop on them. They have the time traveling powers that somehow Kitty Pryde has. They have the morphing of Mystique, and she gets killed, and in that part you kind of feel for her. How did I just say that? You actually feel it. You're like, when somebody dies on a movie and you care less, you it's like you don't care. Oh, she died. Whatever. She wasn't a great actress anyways. Who cares? Whatever. Forget about her. She's nobody. You're not important enough to remember. No, when she dies, when Halle Berry dies in this movie, when Storm dies, you feel it, man. It gets you. It gets you involved. And it's just the Sentinels kills her, and then all the X-Men die. They start to get killed. The Sentinels come to they're hiding out, and they're hiding out in somewhere in China. Now in the next scene, and they at the same time that you got your assassination going, you got Mystique having to make a choice, you got Magneto going nuts. You grab that one scene where he gets a whole football field or a baseball field and drops it right up where the White House is at. I thought that was amazing. I did whatever thought about it. I commend you guys. Great work on that part, and I totally loved it. And this movie has so many spots on it that you could, like I said, and then when you see the characters get together, when Patrick Stewart comes here and actually has a conversation with himself, and with James McAvoy and the young Charles Xavier, it's just like you're like so engaged in that part. You're like, oh my God, I turned out I would see that, but blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Nostalgia goes through your head, and when it happens, you really get into it because I kind of almost think that James McAvoy stole this movie a little bit because Hugh Jackman as usual, he was amazing. Patrick Stewart, even though he kind of played in the background a little bit more on this movie, but just when the guy acts, you don't feel like he's on Star Trek, but it's just like, does he even realize he's not Charles Xavier? That's what I love about it. He gets into the character, he's basically your Martin Luther King. There's hope in his heart. He wants young Charles Xavier to be a kid, and it really, that part is really touching to me also. And at the end where the Sentinels are about to, just split second before they're about to kill everybody, about to blast Charles Xavier, Mystique decides not to kill, and she takes, and then there's a part also that, where you see Magneto, shoots him because, basically their relationship wasn't for too long. She had more relationship with Charles Xavier, and then you get to see also a young William Stryker on this movie, and he's in the Vietnam War, of course, where he's going to make his assassin mutant killers right there. They kind of give you, like, there's a lot of not plot holes, but more like how do I say, like, there's a lot of things you see on this movie that are going to happen eventually. That X-Men is going to happen eventually. The X-Men United is going to happen. The Last Stand is not going to happen because a lot of people hated that movie, but I still like that movie, I guess. And you're gonna see, where everything takes place. You get to see, you see parts of those movies in every part of this movie. And then at the end, oh my God, you guys, love the ending. That's where tears in my eyes a little bit. Is you get to see M.P. Jansen and Jade Bartison. You see, and because they got killed on the last time. It's kind of like pretending like said they totally just ostracized. They desensitized The Last Stand, so they brought back Cyclops. You see Jean Grey again. You see Rogue. You see Rogue do a little teensy-weensy part on here too, and then you see Iceman, and you see Colossus. You see Kitty Pryde. You see Kelsey Grammer on one part too, and then he wakes up. It's all over. Before he wakes up, he gets Magneto. He puts these bars of iron into, deposits him, and like stabs him with them, and he falls into the ocean. And William Stryker fishes him, of course, which is actually Mystique. See, that part though was kind of a little bit of kind of makes you wonder. Okay, then all this time William Stryker was dead, and Mystique was actually William Stryker. In all the other movies, do you guys remember Origins Wolverine and X-Men United? So that means that he was really, the man was really a woman, and that kind of gives you like a scary thought a little bit, So, but anyway, so but overall, this whole movie was just, I give this movie thumbs up. If I had any more thumbs, I would give more. And this movie is probably the best in the series. And I'm going to be doing what I'm going to be doing right now. Also, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of spoiler on the next X-Men movie, which is X-Men: The Apocalypse. X-Men: Apocalypse. All right, this is the Cutting Edge Review, and I am